Question 20. N is an integer, so straight away, integer there, keyword meaning a whole number, such that 3n add 2 is less than or equal to 14 and 6n over n squared add 5 is greater than 1. Find the possible values of n. So what we've got to do is we've got to solve our two inequalities first. So first we're going to pick this one. 3n add 2 is less than or equal to 14. So I'm going to take my 2 over, becomes a minus. 3n is less than or equal to 12. Take my 3 over, becomes a divide. N is less than or equal to 4. So that is one solved. Second one's a lot more complicated. So we've got 6n over n squared add 5 is greater than 1. So I'm going to take my n squared add 5 over where it becomes a times. 6n is greater than n squared add 5 times by 1. So times by 1 stays the same. 6n is greater than n squared add 5. I'm going to move my 6n over, which is going to leave me with 0 is greater than n squared minus 6n add 5. Writing it in a slightly nicer way, I get n squared minus 6n add 5 is less than 0. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this equal to 0 to solve it. So we're now going to say n squared minus 6n add 5 is equal to 0. If we factorise, we look for two numbers that times together to make plus 5 and add together to make minus 6. So this is going to be n take away 1 and n take away 5. 5 times 1, minus 5 times minus 1 is positive 5, minus 5 plus minus 1 is minus 6. And so this gives us two solutions at n equals 1 and n equals 5. Now the issue is that we're not actually solving where it's equal to, we're solving where it's less than. So we've got to look and think, right, what we've got here is a quadratic. And we've found that it's going to cross the x-axis at the points of here and here, positive opposite signs, positive 1 and positive 5. So we've got a graph. We know that it's going to cross where n is 1 and where n is 5, so here and here. And it's a U shape like that. Now we are looking for where the graph is less than 0. So that is where it is below the axis, this point here. So we're actually looking for where n is in between 1 and 5, because that is where the graph is below the axis. So we've now solved our two inequalities and we need to find out what works for both. So the easiest way of this is drawing a number line. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this one that we've solved, n has got to be between 1 and 5, so 1 to 5. The circles are not coloured in because it is not equal to. This one, n is strictly less than or equal to 4, eventually. Equal to, so we can colour that in, and that will just go that way. So if we look for the values that will work, well, 0, that will not work because it's outside of my second one. 1 will not work because I can't have it equal here. 2 will work, 3 will work, 4 will work, 5 will not work because it's outside of this value here. So my possible values are 2, 3, and 4.